Hello everyone, Rich Carlton here. Welcome to another awesome day of FileMaker training. I'm Richard Carlton, creator of fmtraining.tv, where we do all sorts of great FileMaker training every day. And Monday through Friday, 1 o'clock Pacific time. I know it's really hard for those of you in other geographical locations like Europe and Asia Pacific, etc. But we do welcome all of you who are spending time with us today. We really appreciate it. And of course, the goal is to educate and to share our experiences with you, but also for you to share some of your experiences with us. Some of you who are watching here end up becoming presenters, and we're continuing along that track. We have a lot of good content coming up. So let's take a look at things, where things are at. So welcome to the folks on Discord we are broadcasting triple cast, not simulcast, not single cast, double cast, it's triple cast. So YouTube, Twitch, and Discord in high definition. You can choose a platform that you like the best, you want to use the best. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our FM training website, and I'm going to press the button right here, and it pops up the website. So if you go to fmtraining.tv and you come down here and you press the live button, you can see the upcoming broadcast schedule. Today is day 2 of Nick. After this week, Nick is going to be kind of parking on Wednesdays, where he'll be doing his training, kind of continuing kind of a ongoing conversation about some interesting design things that he's bringing to our attention. That will be kind of going forward on Wednesdays for the most part. And then this coming Wednesday, you can see right here, we have a pause and air recap with myself and Calvin. If Brian Ginn is around at all, he kind of like slinks in, but Brian Ginn was there along with Leland Long. If you folks remember the add-on or the software that would do the millisecond testing on the network millisecond testing and put it in FileMaker, that was Leland Long's experiment. So I met him and his wife there. It was pretty exciting. And so we had a number of live stream people that were there. If I told the pause and air people, we'll definitely get out and support it if they decide to go back to the same venue next year. I really like the venue, and we'll be talking about that tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we're going to be talking about at what point do you want to rebuild your database. I've invited Nick to come along just to talk. He doesn't have to prepare. But if Nick wants to come there and talk about that, that might be interesting as well. That's this coming Thursday. We have open Q&A on Friday. I'll probably drag Jacob Taylor along on Friday to have that conversation. Monday, the total cost of FileMaker, the actual cost of FileMaker. Another day where it might be useful to have Jacob Taylor around, also Ryan Correa, licensing guy. But we've run into a lot of people who don't really have a business need for FileMaker, and they want to play with FileMaker, and they kind of get smashed in that area where Claris really wants people who are willing to spend at least $1,000 a year for their product, and or $900 a year. And there's some people who really don't want to justify that, so they kind of get left out in the cold, feeling lonely. So part of the conversation is about that. Where do you fit in? How can you fit in? And how we can help you fit in with that. Then you're going to start to see this conversation over here Tuesday. We're going to be talking about PCI compliance and credit card processing. Very, 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 very important reminder. This is all paid for and funded by the endless supply of money. Nick pays for all of this. He breaks out. Nick is a multimillionaire, and he secretly pays for everything, right? No, that's not true. Nick is beautiful. He has great, look at that beautiful flowing hair. But that hair won't pay the bills. Despite that hair, what we have to do is we tell people to come to our training right here, purchase one of our bundles. Gets all our training, including all the new FileMaker 20 material that we're going to shoot. We haven't started shooting it yet because we don't know what the hell FileMaker 20 is. But when it shows up, you'll see it here first in live in color with dedicated training on our training channel. So if you're one of our training people, renew your training, keep it up to date, help support the channel. We greatly appreciate it. So take a breath. With that in mind, Nick, are you there? His hair is his hair is beautiful. Nick, turn your head sideways.
Sorry?
So beautiful. Right? Was that? Oh yeah. What was that line from the commercial? Don't hate. My wife hated it. Oh, my wife hated this. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. That's what the supermodel says. That my wife wanted to throw a wrench through the TV set when she used to see that 20 years ago. All right, we're gonna go Nick full screen.
Okay.
We're going full Nick. There we go. Full Nick.
So so thank you for that, and thank you for joining today. So it's the second day of this long series. That will be a long series, okay? So I will go deep in the design, the UI, UX. We are going to explore how to use many of the techniques that are already explained many times, but we are going to use them, okay? So, and and I hope to inspire people to build better solution and to make our work as a FileMaker developer to look great, and that is the best selling point. If what you do looks great, you will get more traction than if you build something that doesn't. And that is true. For example, I was talking to a friend of mine recently, and I was telling him how many times you have downloaded an app on the App Store, and you open it, and just by seeing it once, you just close it and threw away the app from your phone. How many times did you do that, right? Just by seeing it. Maybe the app is awesome, right? Maybe the app is awesome. Maybe the app is extraordinarily awesome. But because it looks so bad, okay, that you don't even want to try it, okay? So how many of you did that in his life using an iPhone, an iPad, or whatever? So it's exactly the same thing for what you do with FileMaker, okay? The problem we have with FileMaker is that, let me show you how we look like when we use FileMaker and when we have to design using FileMaker. I need to share my screen. Hold on. Okay, this is how we look like when we are going to design something with FileMaker. We come with extremely good concept and extremely good ideas that most of the time are deadly, like this one, So that is a true concept of the safety belts from the 1960s. And by the car, I can tell you which car it is. So it's a Ford Edsel. So so the car that they showed that. So that the Ford car industry, doing research, concept design of belts in the 60s. So I let you look at this and say, okay, let's use that concept, right? So that would be very funny, and trust me, you will drive much more slower with such design. But that is exactly how we feel with FileMaker. We don't know what we're doing because we don't have great support. And that is a problem that we have with Claris. I hope one day they will address that. I always said that many times to Dominique and all the people at Claris, FileMaker in the time. I said this, beauty should be free, okay? Beauty should be free. That means we should get out of the box beautiful things, useful things, and for free out of the box, not building it from scratch. And to be honest, it's true that FileMaker and Claris didn't do anything to help us, but that's why we are here. That's why we're here. That's why we do what we do. And that's why I want to insist, and I want to make this series to make sure that most of the people understand the benefit of the design. Okay, so what I'm saying most of the time, about the design, and this is very important about the design. This is what I'm saying very often, is that if you design or if your user interface, you need to think your user interface like a joke. If you need to explain it, it's not that good. Okay, so that means it's like a joke. If you have to explain the joke, you kill the joke. And exactly the same for the design. If you have to explain it, it's not good. Your design's not good, right? So this is very, very important. And following something that I get always in my mind when I do design, and you should do the same when you do design, when you think design, when you think UI UX. Let's not call that design. Let's call UI UX, a user interface, user experience. Okay. So when you think about it, you should think what Steve Jobs was saying. Okay. The UI UX is not just what it looks like and feels like. Okay, it's also design. The UI UX is how it works. It's very important that it should look great. I understand that it should be great, but it should work great. Okay, so, and most of the time, to get something working great, you need something to work very straightforward, simple, right? So something else that you need to keep in mind when you and what I'm telling you is what you learn when you go to the university and study UI UX. So what I'm telling you right now has a huge value, because normally you have to pay thousands to get what I'm telling you, and you're not going to get that you're not going to get that on the internet, or because nobody wants to speak the beam, right? They don't want to kill the gold goose, right? So I will, I decided to do it. So when you think about a layout, okay, you need to think like a house. You need to think like a house. A room in a house needs to have one function, right? And one function only, and very dedicated. Otherwise, it starts to look busy. Let's do an example. Let's say you have a bedroom, office, living room. Bedroom, office, living room. Okay. If you look at a room like this in your house, it will look like busy, and it won't look good. It's better to have an office. It's better to have a bedroom, and it's better to have a living room. But you can have and then you have a very, very weird mix. Like, oh, do you have a toilet bowl in the kitchen? Do you really want that? Right? Or do you want the stove next to your bathtub? Well, and so you need to think that way when you build something. So this is the little introduction that I want. Every day I'm going to do some theory like this, about the design. But it's very important that you keep that in mind, right? Simple stuff. The UI UX should be very straightforward. Okay, you shouldn't mix things like this. And of course, do not listen to your customers. Okay, so when I say that, I want to put I want to explain what I'm saying here. Why you shouldn't listen to your customer. You should listen to your customer, but you shouldn't do what they ask you. You should tell you what they should have. Okay, so because thinking about the Ford Edsel, the car, this is a Ford Edsel. Okay, so, and it was the biggest fiasco in the history of the automobile. Okay, why? Because they ask their customer, what do you want? They ask the customers, what do you want in a car? And they put everything the customer wants in one car, and that is the result. And it was the biggest fiasco in history of the automobile. So you cannot, if you want to give a big service to your customers or users, you need to tell them what they need, but you need to come with great experience. If you come with a great experience, not a good experience, with a great experience, they will tell, oh my gosh, that's what I want. That is what I want. They will always tell you that. This is what I want. But you need to come with a great UI. To do that, I want to tell you right now, and we are going to continue, is that every type of situation and every time the mix of the situation, what you want to achieve, the type of data, the support you are in, and all this mix will drive. It will be the decision maker of which kind of technique of UI UX you need to use. Okay, so and that I'm going to explain to you during this series. So let's go. Yesterday we were talking about the Carl style window, and I told you that I'm going to show you an example of a card style window on an iPhone, okay? So this is a technique that I'm using often on an iPhone to get additional information on the layout without to leave the layout, because this is what the problem we have in the UI, the major problem, and that you will agree with me 100%. The greater problem we have in the design is the navigation. This is our problem number one. The problem number one is the navigation. Navigation is always, always, always a problem, okay? Especially in FileMaker, because FileMaker does absolutely nothing to help you, and most of it, FileMaker will shoot you in the foot just for fun, okay? So, and that's why the navigation is a problem, but it's not all. It is not only a FileMaker problem. It's a web problem. It's an app problem. It's a problem since day one in the history of the UI UX, right? The navigation. And my way to treat the navigation is the best navigation is when you don't have one. That's the best one. The best navigation is when you don't need to navigate, okay? So, and the card style window is exactly this. This is exactly what the card style window is achieving. So let me show you. You have here a list, right? So you have a list. Okay, so and I'm stopping the list here. I'm there. You know, I am at that. And I want to show something, but I don't want to lose where I'm here. So I want, here you see you have this here. You have this icon here on the bottom. And I want to tap on this. So I tap on it. And I have this coming. So if you tap outside, FileMaker will dismiss the window. Okay. So I go there, back, right? There, down. So it is important to see how it works. This is a card style window. It is a window on top of it. Okay, it is a window on top of another one, and it is a layout. It is a layout. So with FileMaker, we have this great kind of effect like this. Okay, so see, it comes from the bottom, and because it's a layout, I can do this. I can scroll within this small piece of layout, right? So, you know, I dismiss, I go. So you have the arrow up that shows you something goes up. And of course, okay, we can type outside to dismiss the window if we want, but we also can have a button that shows if you tap on it, you go down. So you have the arrow down, right? So you can see here, I don't have a title. I don't have nothing. I have just a button with an arrow up, you know, and a button with the arrow down, right? This is what I have. Arrow up, arrow down, arrow up, arrow down. Okay. And I can scroll, right? So, because it is a layout and it is a window. So it is exactly like this. Okay. So for the system, sorry. For the system, it is exactly that's what it's doing. You have this going there, right? Okay, so you go there. I don't know why it's doing this. Okay, and you go down, right? So you have this effect. So how it works? It is exactly like doing this. If I go to here, let's see what the script doing. Okay, so the script doing this. I have a new window, and I open this as a card style. You know, so I open that as a card, and I close and I dim parent. Okay, so what you need to know about this, okay, is that on FileMaker Pro, what's the name? This here is a close button. You cannot click outside on Pro, on the client, on Mac, on PC. Okay. You can't click outside and dismiss the window, and dismiss this window. It won't do it. On iOS, it does it. If you type outside, it will dismiss it. Don't ask me why it's doing this on iPhone and why it's not doing it on desktop. It's what is it? Complaints@claris.com. I don't know the email that you need to support@claris.com or whatever. Brad Freytag at Brad_Freytag at claris.com. Okay. So ask them why on iPhone we can type outside and dismiss, and why we have this button on iPhone on desktop. I don't know. And so this is how it works. You have a layout on top of this. So here, let me show you how it works. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I want to explain how it works. So you have this layout, which is we can put a white here, or the same color of this. Okay. So you have the button that close, and this is a layout. But if the window is smaller, like I decided that the window is like this, right? When I open it, I decide that the window will be like that, right? Pretty much, right? That's what I decided. Okay, so that's why scroll is doing this. See, you can see it, right? It's doing the same. It's because the window I open is smaller than the height of the layout. So doing this, it will scroll. So if I have, for example, a taller layout, right? So we can just do this, right? So we can continue and having. I don't know why it's so slow. Everything's slow.
That looks okay here, Nick.
Yeah, but I need to close some stuff here because I have so many things open. Oh, it's because I have this QuickTime stuff. Anyway, so if you do this, if you continue to have this more, right? And if you look like here now, it's even longer. See, so it will scroll more and less. And of course, if you have a list view here, so if you decide this is a list view, for example, it will show the thing as a list view. Demonstration, it's a list view, right? So I can just put something else here. I can put the name of the, I don't know, I put the, do I have name here? Account name or full name? I don't remember. Do I have an account? If I put account here, okay. So now see it's a list view. See? Okay, so it will be considered as a list view. So let me.
I love list views. I love the performance of a list view. So fast.
Exactly. So it's. I'm going to explore the CalStar window much more in the future, right? So CalStar window, it's a huge kind of component in our everyday layout construction. But you need to think about it, right? Because it will help you to do a lot of things. So I promised you to show you the iPhone stuff, so I did it. So let's go back to the normal stuff. Okay. So yesterday we saw many things here. Yesterday we saw how to add contacts inside add relate contact to an account like this, right? So you click here, you have a new account, and you go there, you select contacts, and we saw that how all the benefits that we can have: search, sort, multi selection. We have when we sort, we have the letter here, the B, the C. We have plenty of goodness because we are directly in the table view, right? So we have this, so we can select multiple, and we can add goodness because we have the support, we have a UI, and then we can have a user experience. So I want to see the 7 that I selected. I can unselect what I want. Okay, so we saw that we have many goodness out of this, right? So
now, I wrote that down, Nick.
now,
Nick, I wrote that down. We have plenty of goodness quotes around that.
yeah, yes, it's true.
It is true. It's just kind of yeah.
So now I want to show you how it works and how we can make something very complicated in something simple. Let me explain. If you want to do something like this, for example, if I ask 10 developers how to do the multi-selection here, immediately 10 out of 10 will come with the freaking checkbox.
Yeah, I
True?
would. Yep, I would.
Okay.
That'd be the first thing I would do.
Well, this is bad. This is abomination.
Abomination?
No. The checkbox. Why the checkbox is an abomination? Because you are modifying a record. So that means if I want to cancel, what I need to do? You need to run a script that goes and select all what you selected and unselect it. That means you have to you need to replace what you have selected, and you want to replace it, right? And you have another big problem. Let's say you have 20 people on the network, and I select this guy, another guy unselected. I want to select it. Another guy will select it, unselect, select, unselect, select. So you have all the people will fight because you are going to select a guy, but I don't want, because I will see it. Imagine that I am exactly at the same window at the same time you are, and you modify the record. You understand the problem here? Okay. So if you want to use the record modification, good luck. Good luck. I can even, maybe guys will come with a custom function and SQL and stuff, but I have a simpler way. And
he's not here today. He's not here today. He's not here, so you can say whatever bad things you want about Kyle.
No, okay. That's why I don't want to tell anything because it's not there. So so I'd like to face my contradictory. So I want to explain. I want to show you how.
Show us. Ken wants you to show us. Show us.
Yeah, I'm showing.
Well,
but
faster.
I want to show you what he's doing. So because I'm using the right technique here, what I get for free, I get the selection and unselection over the network, and I can do what I want. I can cancel when I want. I don't use any replace. I get the counting here, right? The counting is based on this, and I use the same thing I'm getting from the click here. I'm creating the records directly. Okay, so I'm getting all of this for free, and I get another for free. What I get for free, because I use the right technique, I get which one are already selected. Because I use the right technique, I get all of this for free. All of this for free. So how it works? I have here. So I open this. Okay. And I want to select something. So here I have the current IDs. Those are the guys that are already there. Okay. The current contact IDs, they are there. So those are Those are the ones that are already there. I already select them. So because they are here, how I'm doing this? So let's go and go to the layout itself. Okay. So let me do that here because I have a bigger. Okay. So open this. Here my layout. Okay. Here I have this. Okay. So I have this. It's an icon. It's an icon. It's a button without any action. It's just a button because I want the icon here. Okay. It's an icon green with the icon white. Okay. Very simple. But I have two functions here. First function, I have a conditional formatting. And I say, if I have a pattern count in the current IDs, the ID contacts, if in those IDs, I do have a record here, show me this gray. Icon gray and fill color transparent. So that's why I get this. You know, that's why I get this. When you click here, I get those gray because pattern count will tell me, oh, okay, yes, they are. I found the pattern count, so I need this. Okay. So that's the first benefits on this. So now let's continue. What happened when I click somewhere? What happened when I click I click the row here? So you can see here, I have the current contact IDs. Okay. But now if I click, I have the new contact IDs, the new ones. So, and you can see what happened. I click here, I have 2 now, 3, 4. So I'm building a variable. Each time I'm clicking one guy, I'm adding, and I have now, in my layout, I have now another condition. It's not a condition from it, it's a hidden condition. And I said, if it's not pattern count, if it's not in the current and it's not in the new, hide it. So it should be, you know what I mean? So if I don't count it, don't show me. That's why when you come here, you don't see by default, because it is not the ID of this contact. It is not yet in the variable because I didn't click on it. Now it is, so I'm not hiding it. Now it's not, I'm hiding it. Now it is, though I'm not hiding, because hiding it's a negative action. It's a negative calculation. It is not showing. Hiding is not showing, right? You know what I mean? So it's not a show condition. It's a hiding condition. So it's not showing. Okay. So if it's not in the list, hide it. If it's not in the list, hide it. So I count here, and now you can see why I'm getting so many things for free, because I do have things like for example here. Look all what happens when I click. When I click, look what I have just by putting an ID in a variable. This is only what I'm doing, and I'm going to show you the script. Just because I'm putting an ID in a variable, look what I get for free. First, the most obvious, the green arrow, the green checkbox. Second, I got the counting of the contacts selected. Free, I get this button to be validated, because here is gray. I can't add selected contact because I have no contact selected. So this is grayed, right? So this is what Steve Jobs was saying. a great UI, it just work. Just work. You don't need to say, you don't want the guy to click add selected contact and you say, oh, by the way, you have selected none, so nothing is happening, right? No, don't let the people do it, and they will understand. You give an information when you do this, because let's say you have the button, let's say you have this button, validate. You need in your script to take care of the events that nothing is select. For example, in my example here, if by mistake, I leave this add selected button, add select contact button activate, and you click this button without anything selected, you have a P-cells that go wild and will create records forever. So you will say, Nick, oh, this is a bad design. No, why you want? Okay, I'm going to tell you a Russian quote that says, why taking care of something that will never happen, right? Why taking care of something that will never happen? I will never let this button to be selectable if I didn't have nothing. So how do I do this? How complicated it will be to get this button to disappear? Okay, so I have two buttons here, right? It says one thing: if the new contact ID variable is empty, don't show it. Don't show it. If it's empty, so it's easy. It's just because I have my variable here, the new. I don't see new contact IDs. If I click here, if I select one, oh, I have new contact ID. So this button here is activated, and then I have here this counter that counts how many values I have there. It's that simple. This is just a counter. It's a counter. How many values do I have here? Right? Where's my? Oh, I click. I click escape. Sorry. So this is what I get. So I'm counting how many I have. So if I click 1, I have 1, 2, and 3. So this is what I'm doing. So I'm adding a value to the variable. So now the trick is, and I demonstrate that many times, but I'm going to go deeper now. Okay. So the trick is, so you see all what I get for free just because I put an ID in a variable. So I got all of this, and it's very simple. So now imagine that you use the technique of selecting the checkbox. You need to count records. Oh, whoa. This is not the same. This is not the same like we have in France, France, we have an expression to do that. It's not the same mayonnaise, the sauce, mayonnaise, mayonnaise. Okay. It's not the same mayo. It's not the same at all, because counting values, it's piece of cake. Okay. Look, value count, new contacts, IDs, free. That's it. Okay. Imagine now that you use the checkbox technique, that you are modifying records. So how you can get out of the list? That's why I'm saying we need Carl Williams with the custom function here, and a SQL, because you need SQL, because how you know which one from that list are selected? You need a relationship with a permanent link that says the tag match the tag of the current list of the current found set. Good luck with this. Really, you can go. Good luck. So it's a variable. So I have value count on this. This is all what I need to do. Value count on this is free. If I add another one, see, it's counting automatically 4, 5, 6. I do nothing. FileMaker is doing the job for me. It's doing the job for me. I don't need to do anything for that. Okay. So, and it's It's free. It's for free. So now the trick is there. How I can add values and remove values. This is a trick. Remove, add, remove, add, remove. You know, how I can add and remove without putting gaps. Because if I leave the system putting blank values, like most of you will have done, because FileMaker doesn't have, but fortunately you have a place like here that we tell you this. This needs to be always consistent, because otherwise the counter is false, and everything above, you know, or everything below that point will fall apart. Okay, so let's see now everybody want to see that the script. Okay, so what is important, forget about this, you know, this is for something else. What is important to see is there, right? So we can just, you know, ignore this. What we need to see is there. So what I'm doing, if in the new contact ID variable, which is a list of values, if I have it, if the one I'm clicking right now, if the one I'm clicking right now is there, that means you want to remove it. That's why you have this. That's why you have this. Click, 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 click. That's what you want, right? Okay. Okay. So, if you have the pattern count, if it's there, that means you want to remove it. So you are going to redefine the same value. Okay. This is where the trick. This is where is the trick. Okay. You can redefine a current variable, that is a living variable, by itself, by removing things from it. And it's something most of you guys doesn't know. You don't know that you can just redefine the same variable by telling, I want that variable and I want to remove something from it. So you don't need to create a new variable on the side, which would be the new variable. You know what I mean? You don't need that. You can just redefine the same variable with the content of the current the current content of it, the current living content, and remove or add what you want. Got it? It's important that you get that concept here. Okay, so I'll repeat again, because most of you doesn't know that, and especially the beginners and the intermediate people doesn't know that. You can redefine a living variable and modify the current of the living variable by itself. Okay, so it's very, very important. So I'm following the thread there. Do I have things that I need to Nate Schneider said first day back, and oh my god, did I hear Nick says you need SQL. Yeah, if you want to use a bad technique, you need SQL. Always. If you want to use a bad technique, go SQL. Okay, so what I was saying is, if you want to use the checkbox technique, that means you modify a record. Here, I'm sorry, but I didn't modify anything. I didn't modify anything. If you look the modifying timestamp of the record, it will say nothing happened. I didn't modify the record, and this is the most important to know. But what I was saying here is that I can take the current living variable and tell you, okay, now I want you from that variable, I want to keep that variable. You keep that variable, but you're going to remove something from it. So you have this substitute technique here. So what does the substitute technique do? Okay, what does the substitute technique do? Okay, first of all, I have a let statement because it's better for me to reuse things. I'm reusing this again and again. You know, I have for example, in the same solution, I have a contact picker, a project picker, a product picker, an item picker, a material picker, a staff picker, a user picker, or whatever picker, right? You can pick whatever you want. You know, you want to attach project you want to attach material or product to an invoice, for example. You click add and you say, I want this, validate, boom, you have your stuff, right? But to remap this, it's easier for me to have a let statement because I changed this and voila, you know. So what the substitute is doing, okay? So here, let's forget about this for now because it was a complication for nothing. But I needed it for the demo. I'm reusing a demo file from another demo, so that's why. But what I'm doing here, I'm saying the system, and that is the substitute. The substitute kind of function here. It works like this. So let me show you the substitute technique. Okay. If you're interested in this, but that's the point here, and that's why I'm going to have a third day on this because I'm going deep. You know, in this session, this series of webinars, we are going deep. You know, we are going to explain every single bit of the things, right? So what the substitute doing? So all of you guys understand the substitute that way, and you say, okay, I want to substitute Nick Hunter. Okay, in Nick Hunter, I want to substitute, for example, I want to substitute the I with the 1. Okay, so that's what I have. I have Nick Hunter, N-Y-C-K. Okay, so far so good. Okay, so but what you don't know, guys, you know, is that you can have this. That's great. That's great. But I want more. Okay, I want more. Right? I want to be able to change the the U of this by 0. Right? The U by 0. See, yeah, okay, so that the first served, okay. How it works? Sorry, because I forgot something. It works like the case. The first serve, the first arrive. You know, the first arrive, first serve. So the I is the first arrive. Let's say I don't have an I. Look what happened. Bam. So now if we go to the 0, why is not doing this? Why is not doing this? Why is not? Oh, because I have you, Nick. Okay. So the first serve first. Okay. So if I have this Nick first, okay, now it will do that. It will do all. That's why I was confused because I had the U capital U, which is not the same. It take care of this. See, capital U, it doesn't work.
Yeah, the substitute function, filter function, a couple of these are case sensitive.
Yeah,
right?
Case sensitive. So if I change again, I put, for example, the E, I'm changing with 3, for example, right? So let's say I want to do something like this, right? So now you see that the substitute is smart. I can say, I substitute, okay, first I want to substitute this, and then this, and then this, and then etc., etc., etc. And you can put calculation on this, right? You can put substitute into pieces of substitute. It's a never-ending. But most of you do. Yeah, we can do that. But okay. So it is important. But when I was saying the first serve, the first arrive, first serve, it was in my purpose here. It was in my scripts, because in my scripts, in the script here, it is very important. The first serve, the first the first arrived, first served. And it's very important to understand the concepts. Here the problem. We have in the list of item, we have three types of values. The first value, the middle values. So you can have 1, 2, okay? So you have the middle values, and you have the last value. So you have the middle values, the first, the middle, and the last. All of them, the three of them, are treated differently with FileMaker. Okay. So I want to substitute, let's say I have this, okay? So I want to build a list out of this, okay? I have a list. I have this list. So let's copy all of this and go to the data viewer. So let's say this is this is the list of values that I have. Y says table missing, I don't know. Let contact equal list. Table can why? Oh, stupid me. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So I want to substitute. Let's say I don't have this. Okay. And I just have a substitute this, right? Sorry, this, and I have the sorry, I'm confused. Okay, I want to substitute this by this. I'm going to look for this. I'm looking for this, and I replace by nothing. Okay. So this is what I get. So here what I got. I have a list of values. Okay. So I have this. So this is what I have. Let me show you. This is my list of values. I have this, and my calc, the substitute says, I want in my list, I want to replace this by nothing. Here what I get. Blank, I have 3 values. So I still have 4 values. One is blank. Why? Because I should have, say, substitute this. Substitute this. I think. No. Why? Substitute. Oh, sorry. Okay. This is what I should have said. I should have said, from my list, substitute first value and a carriage return, and then I will get this. If I don't put this, I have a blank. Now, let's say I want to substitute the value, the middle value 1. Here what I have. I have a blank, right? I have a blank. But you will say, okay, yeah, Nick, but okay, add your stuff here like you did before. Okay? You can do it, but it doesn't work all the time. Sometime it won't work. Okay? So here to get this, it's kind of cumbersome. But normally, you need to use that one. Okay? because otherwise it won't work well. Okay. So, but anyway, you got the point here. And let's say I want to replace the last value without anything. And here the catch. The last value is there. The last value will be there. If I do this, the last value will be there. So it will be counted. So this is what you need to know. You need to put this in that order. Okay? This is for the middle value. This is for the first value. And this is for the last value. Okay? Very important. The last value, this is the first, this is the middle, the first, the last. Okay? So this is how it works. This is how you use the substitutes to make sure that at the end of the day, at the end of your thing, the ID will be removed. So now you know why we cannot use the serial number like we did before. We cannot have the contact ID 121 and the contact ID 12211, and the contact ID 221, because otherwise the substitute will substitute a part of it. So it won't substitute completely. That's why this technique works only if you have a UUID or like we have here in FM starting point, the CON kind of this type of of IDs, right? Like we have here, like this. This will work because we have CON. Okay, this will work. But I strongly suggest to use their what's the name? To use their UUIDs. Okay. So now you have two, as you can see here, you have the pattern count. So this is if the pattern count is there, right? So if the ID is there, remove it using the substitute technique. Okay? But if it's not there, it's very simple. You create a new contact, a new variable, create a variable with whatever in the variable, okay, and this, right? Whatever here, you add the current ID on the list. You add it. So here how it works. When you click, it add, When you click here, this works because it is there, and it will remove it. And then you have bam, bam, bam. And you have the refresh. You need to refresh the object. Okay. When you click here, it's not there. So this if is not valid because it's not. And then you have this one working. You put whatever in the new contact ID and add it. Right? And you need to refresh. So you need to refresh the object here, in order to, because we are using variable. But it's okay. We can refresh the object, not the window, right? Only the object. So this is how it works. So now, thanks to this, now you know how this works. See here, the selected contact counter. This is a counter on top of this. What this counter is doing, what it's doing is just a variable. It's just a variable. And I said, if it's none, it say no. I said no if I have none. Okay. And if I have one, it said contact selected. If I have more than one, it said contacts selected. So you can build something smart here. Here I have contacts. Here I have contacts. Contact, contacts, contact, contacts. Okay. So you can do this with very simple, just a value count, right? And then here you have the refresh kind of object because I am refreshing multiple objects, right? So this is my refresh object technique that I'm going to expose. I'm going to expose next week. When you have multiple objects that you need to refresh, I don't want to refresh the window. Refresh window is bad, but I have a list of objects that I want to refresh. So I put the list in the parameter, and I refresh the object. So now, before we go, I have 4 minutes or 5 minutes. Now you see what I have for free. What I have for free, I have this and this and this and this. So I have counter, this showing, validate. Okay, I have this. Also, what I have for free is this technique here that will be cool. How I can show only the selected records if I have only a variable with IDs. Very simple, very simple. Here, I want to constrain the list with only what I have selected. I click here, and here the technique. I'm setting a global with my list of IDs, and I say, and I have a link that go to the self, it go to contact, and I'm going to show only the records that match that list. That's it. So set field a global and go to the records only that's 8 contacts that are selected. So if I unselect this guy, now I will have only 5. Bam. So out of this, right? So this is all of this is out, and now you have another thing that says, oh, by the way, I want to clear the selection. I want to clear all of them. You click here and look what I'm doing. I'm just saying, okay, the new contacts variable, get out of here. The counter here, get out, right? Get out the counter and refresh all the objects. Bim. That's it. I didn't modify one record. Everything is based on the list of variable, a list of IDs in the variable, right? Everything there. So if I want to select those guys, okay? I want to select those guys. And now you say, okay, Nick, how you can now create the records, because I want to link records, contacts to an account. Very simple. I have this technique here. You guessed it, because I have a list of IDs. I have everything I need. I have the list of IDs. So this is my script. Very simple. I freeze the window because I don't want the people to see what's going on. I have my technique of the value count stuff. I'm going to the cross-reference table where I'm going to link. The cross-reference table is where you link contact with contacts with the account, right? So I have all what I need. I'm creating a new record, on the bottom here, right? I'm setting the account ID where I'm in this account, and then I'm saying, okay, I have 5 people, right? So I'm taking the list. I have my new contact ID, and I'm taking the first guy, right? Here, see the first guy, and I continue the loop. The second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and then when it's done, when I say, okay, exit loop when the value count equals the counter, bam, bam, close window, and everything there. So I don't know if you notice something, but it looks like it's instant when you do it. If I select multiple guys here, let's select like all those, all those. So why it looks like it's instant? It's because the action of creating the records happened before this window closed. Bam, it's instant clock, because it happened before the window closed. And as you could see, I didn't have to refresh commits, right? And the big benefits also. So to resume the situation here, okay? To resume the situation, thanks to a great UI, okay? Thanks to a great UI, what did I achieve? First that I have achieved is obvious. I can search, I can sort, I can, what's the name? So visual, I can select multiple at once. Okay, I can do another search. I can do okay, and select more. I have goodies like show me the selected. So I have many things like this, and of course, so I have one action. I select all the people I want on one action, and then when I'm done, I said, okay, I'm done. Or I can just say, oh, by the way, I don't know, I don't have time to take care of this. I cancel, and you can cancel. You can just go and leave, and nothing happened. Okay, so you have all these benefits out of this, but you have another one, and we are going. That's why we need to go to have another day. It's another benefit that we have, another big benefits that we have. If I can open this window, is this, right? So let's go. I need to modify the script here. Okay. Go to the layout, this. Okay, so now that I have a UI that before we didn't have, I want to remind you that we were replacing this abomination, that we want to replace. So let's say, okay, I'm here and I want to create a contact that is not existing. So you have no other choice than go to contacts, right? Create the contact, go back to account and add it, which is a piece of bleep. Okay. No, I'm here, I'm adding a contact, and then I'm realizing, oh, the contact's not there. Ha, piece of shit. What do I do? Create. So, and that we are going to see that, we are going to look at this the next week, on November. But you understand that when I was telling you, you have and then we have on the design, when you have a great design, great UI, great UX, you have a beginning, a middle, and an end. So the beginning is when you get inside this world. That's the beginning. Then when you're inside this, you can select people, right? You can select people, and you can create a new guy. So let's create it. Oops. And everything that is red needs to be filled. That's also something I'm going to show you how to do. Department accounting, president, prospect, phone, email, and address 1, city, state. Okay, so now I can validate, and you can see here, I don't know why this is white, but we will see that. So you can see now I can validate. Of course, I can create multiple, okay? But I want to show you this, and then like a teaser for next week, for 2 weeks. When I validate, I create a new contact. So I have my contacts here. When I validate, here what happened. Bam. Wow. I see immediately that, oh, by the way, I have a new contact here. I have the new contact and the previous one. Haha. This is what we call a great user experience. It's great. It's not a piece of blip. Do you agree?
It's very nice, Nick. Everyone wants to know if they get the file. Although someone said you already had the file out there. The
Yeah,
UI.
you have the file. It's the UI UX design v4. So you
V4.
have it. The
Margaret, do you
V4.
have the link for
I
that?
can send it back,
I
but
will go find it.
yeah, it's the same. That's why it's. But I wanted to. You see, last time what I was talking about this, I talked about this like 15, 20 minutes. Now is the second day I'm talking about that, and we have a third day on this. So it's much more advanced. The explanation, and I'm going to come and more with our theory and more explanation why the design, because, and why you should care. Can you imagine? No, just imagine how many things I'm taking care just because I have the good design. I cannot add multiple people or multiple times the same people. I can find my people super easily. I can create some people, one guy on the fly. I can look. It's just because I have the great design. Now, it's true that you have to create this, but the way it is built, if you look closely the file, the way it is built, it's really easy to reuse because you just need to duplicate the layout and duplicate the scripts and just remap the field, but you keep the concept and you keep the logic, and you just need to replicate what I've done, and it's not that complicated. But it's true, it is more work. But you need to sell when you demonstrate something like that to your customer or your user, they will all say, I want it. And you will tell them, say, okay, it's more expensive. Yeah, there's no magic here. You want the table view, it's cheap, right? Table view cheap. You can do that with table view. It's very cheap. But if you want something like that, it is not cheap, but it will come. And I'm giving you a kind of an opportunity for Friday, to discuss on Friday. When you have a design like this, imagine how many times your employee will save. That is another way to calculate if you need or not to rebuild your solution, and how you need to build your solution, right? Because what you pay now, let's say you paid $100 to do this or $200 to do this, right? How many thousands of dollars you will save in the next 10 years or 15 years, right? This is the question we need to answer Friday.
So Nick, Thursday we're going to be doing the open Q&A. Or correction, yep. Thursday, if you look at the screen, Nick, Margaret, we'll send him a screenshot of this, but the when to rebuild your FileMakers on Thursday, and then open Q&A is Friday. So if you want to be
Thursday.
Yeah, if you want to be here Thursday, and then I'll bring Jacob Taylor on Friday, and we can cover stuff from that way. Yeah, but it's pretty impressive stuff. I like it. I like the fact it's kind of you could build it so people don't run into each other. You need this for larger applications, scalable applications, so people don't really run into each other. So you're selecting things and not affecting other people. Kind of transactional, right? Kind of transactional, Nick. I know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not really a word that you use too much, but it's kind of that idea. And once again, we're waiting to get more information from Claris on the future of what, I think that we're going to have these same tools for quite a while, but the back-end engine and the tools that people use to access it, from a user interface, what tool they use it to get through for Pro, I think those might change, but the back-end engine is interesting because then we could do all sorts of great stuff. So anyway, very exciting. Margaret, you've been working on the schedule, getting stuff put in. That's great. We want to continue with that. All right, Nick. Well, so that's it for Nick, and then he'll be back a little bit Thursday. Any other questions we have from people? Scott Kane,
No.
Canberra, Larry?
And I did go and check the sample file is part of that lean design collection. So if you sign up for the lean design.
All right, so let me try doing this. So if I go to fmtraining.tv and I say I go to what, the lean design thing? Is it over here? Here it is, lean design right here. So I go to lean design.
Yeah.
So I'm
talking about this in the lean design, but in this webinar that we do now right now, there will be like in the future, in the near future, those webinars will be references because, like I said, you know, what I'm going to talk about is nothing that you can hear anywhere else because nobody wants to speed the pen. It's, you know, it's, but I will.
Okay, and then what you do is you put your email in here, and then you do that, and then this is optional. You don't need that. Anyway, all right, well, that's it for now. We greatly appreciate everyone. We'll see you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. The retro t-shirt goes well with the subject. Yeah, Nick's got great t-shirts. Nick, show us that shirt again. Where's that shirt that you're wearing? What shirt are you wearing?
It's, oh, yeah, if I'm not showing my screen,
yeah,
my video. So, yeah, I have a pinball.
Oh, yeah, retro pinball, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's very exciting. Yeah, well, if you come back, Nick, we'll have to do some more arcade stuff. I love the original arcades, stand-up arcades. Those are great. So, all right, that's it for everyone. I appreciate it. Have a good day. See you tomorrow.
And the guys just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected the quarterback. Great read, good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Trying to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap, stands in, throws it left for Amendola, reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10, rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.